I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. Watch their hands. Watch their hands. What does it mean, Daniel? Well, the same cult that has been running this world from the dark side forever is still using the same hand signs that they've been using for probably thousands of years. But yeah, thousands. And they don't just do it with the hands, they symbolize it with other things. Even with the buildings, they build like pyramids and the pyramids on the dollar and all, but they will show it with their hands. Even your YouTubers will show this hand sign that you're looking at here with Elon doing. They'll show this hand sign repeatedly. Now, sometimes if they're what's called a deep undercover agent, for lack of better words, they will only do it with their thumbs. They'll interlace their fingers like you put your hands together, and they'll stick their two thumbs together and point up like a pyramid. And they'll just barely put that in where the camera can see it. It's the top of their hands where the pyramid's sticking up. And there's several things this means. For the somewhat lower level Freemasons, it means I'm in compliance. Okay. Like if you watch, some big YouTubers out there, like one is Cletus McFarlane or Whistling Diesel. They're like into cars and stuff like this and racing, and they do it openly. Whistling Diesel didn't start out doing it, but he now does it. Cletus McFarlane is the one who really got it kind of going, you might say. And then it kind of spread across other channels because the other channels want to be successful on YouTube, and you cannot be highly successful on YouTube unless you join this club right here. Okay. It's just the way it is. This goes way back. This is Angela Merkel, aka the granddaughter of Adolf Hitler. And she has, I believe, 3 sisters, and they also are leaders of 3 other countries there in the area of Germany, of what used to be, they just are. They're the leaders of the country. And as you can see, her hands, of course, she's doing the same thing Trump does. Now, why would Trump and why would Elon and why would all of these people do these things? Do the same or very similar version of the same hand signs? It's because they're in a club. You see the Reverend here, okay? He's no more Reverend than Anton Levine, okay? And Anton, he's also does this hand sign as well. And I could show you an image of him doing it. Matter of fact, I might have one right here. Let's see. Let me just type it up. Anton Levine? LeVay, excuse me. Anton LaVey. And of course, he's the originator or the creator of the Satanic Church. And it's a real thing. They've got quite a few members around the world. And they're very open as to who they worship. Okay? And when Anton would do it, he would do it normally above his head. I don't see one of the images right here. Let's let's change this just a little bit. Okay, here you go. This is how he would choose to do that same hand sign. Okay, that's Anton Levine. He was the creator of the Satanic Church. Okay, and why are all the world leaders still doing this? And some of you may or may not know, but the highest position in the Satanic Church, in which this guy created, and of course there've been Satanic churches, but they've not been very public, and I like this one. And I mean, there are plenty of organizations that are worshiping Satan, worshiping the God of this world. This guy's just was open about it, proud of it, basically. If we go to, let's go to, oops. See if we can see the church website. The Church of Satan. Now, I'm doing this not because you guys don't know this, because most of you already do, but this is an opportunity for you to share this information, maybe with someone who needs to hear it. And they probably will still try to reject the information that, no, there's no way that this is tied to Trump or any of these people, right? There's no way. But yet, if you know about the hierarchy within the Church of Satan, you will know that the highest position as a witch or warlock or whatever you want to call it, the highest position is a maga or a magus. If you're a female, you're a magus. If you're a male, you're maga. I believe that's how it goes, something like that. But it's a maga is the highest position. And that's real easy to research and confirm. And I would assume that there would be somebody who would listen to this that would still say, Daniel, that's just another coincidence. So that's a coincidence. And the fact that the MAGA is the slogan for Trump, just a coincidence, right? And this is another hand sign right here that you're looking at, that the Church of Satan uses as well. If we click on here, we probably even see them doing it. If you look very far, it won't take too long to find it. But they do that. For an example, right here, you can see it being done on this guy's hands here. And matter of fact, if I click on that again, if I roll this down, might get some more of them. Possibly. Well, here you go. There you have it right there. Okay. But Daniel, that's just a coincidence. Okay, well, that's 3 coincidences in a row. Are you sure that's a coincidence? And we have another famous person, actually 2 other famous persons that are in the club. You see, they're in the MAGA club, and they're in the tip of the spear, point of creation. I'm in compliance club as well. See? And notice that she's dressed in white, and he's got his white, and they're both wearing red. Red is the color of blood, of course, and is also the color of the second horse of the apocalypse, red. They will come as white on a white horse, and then the white horse turns red. He becomes bloody. Come as a savior, like Apollo. Apollo is the bringer of the disease and the cure. See? Of course, many other celebrity type sold out people out there as well that do this, that are admired, that give you the hand signs. And of course, another one here. This one isn't a big surprise, right? What club do you reckon he is part of? Any idea? But they all do the same stuff. Why? It's basically a lesser magic. It's a lesser magic. To them, it's power and unity, but it also represents that they are in compliance with each other, and they're in this club together, and they feel it gives them power. But the hand sign itself, as you can look at Kanye's hands here, it very much looks like a Vesica Pisces, or the image of creation, of the garden. Okay. And I don't think I need to explain that any further. And it's because they're into creating, using their magic. They're into creating their world, their new world order. And so they use hand signs in order to symbolize what they are creating and what they're doing. Okay. None of these people are your friend. None of these people are for me or for you. I've got another image here I'm going to pull up and show it to you. Got a couple other things we're going to look at besides this subject. Let's see here. Well, we can take a peek at this one. Let's see at Anton down here. And there's the MAGA or Magistra. Magistra, the current president of the Satanic Church, or not president, current leader. Current MAGA or Magistra is Peggy Nadramia, whatever that is. Okay. So again, there you have it. And also, let's see here. I got several other things here that I thought I would show you. The Anton, he wrote the book, The Satanic Bible Codified. He wrote that supposedly. Let's see here. I think that's the picture I'm looking for. One of them anyways. This will give you another image to consider as to see Hitler. He was all into putting on a really good stage act, having really good stage presence, wasn't he? And of course, he's very much known for the Heil Hitler salute, right? Throwing the arm out, kind of like Elon did recently. And then there's these guys. They're in the club too. Oops. These guys are in the club too. Most people don't realize who it is that the Catholic Church worships. What God they worship. They worship the God of this world. Okay? He's the one that will empower you to have power, to be rich. And to become very rich, you have to submit and become a member of this club. Okay? If you don't, they will cut you down. They won't necessarily kill you because you haven't joined their club and signed in blood that you would never go against them. So, but what they do is wherever you're engaging their system, they will cut you down. Like if you're, say, in the real estate business and you won't join their club, okay, your real estate development might just not get approved in the city or the county because they have power and they can use that power to cause you problems. Or maybe your loan on something you're trying to purchase doesn't get approved. It's wherever you engage their system, because all this stuff is theirs, is where they can attack you. They can't just come and take you out, but they will try to get you to take yourself out. Here is a little bit more on this story. You see, I said that's Hitler's granddaughter. And thing is that most people don't realize is where the Illuminati was formed was in Bavaria. Okay? In Germany. It's a small, or especially used to be a very small community where a particular group of people came together and formed a secret society. And Hitler was born in Bavaria, in this little small town. Not even a town, like a village, basically, okay, at the time. And also, Trump's family was born in Bavaria, okay, from the same little village. And he just happens to be now considered to be one of the most powerful men in the world, right? Isn't that a quinkadink? See, we got another coincidence. What are we going to do with all the coincidences? Well, I'm just bringing you the information. You're going to have to decide what you're going to do with it. I have a couple of things. Somebody was on Beyond the Veil with me during the pre-show for the show. Before I go live, you can go on the website to the Beyond the Veil pre-show page. It's free for everybody. You don't even have to be a member, a paying member like a level 2 or level 3. Just be a free member and you can come on there. You can watch and interact. It's like before the show, I was talking with one of y'all guys that were on there, and you were telling me about Palantir helping the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to develop Tiberius. The Tiberius is an interesting name because it comes from Star Trek. Tiberius Kirk, the name of Captain Kirk. Okay, Tiberius, and it's a software platform used to manage the logistics of, the CO919 thing distribution. Built on Palantir's Foundry software, Tiberius was a central component of Operation Warp Speed. Once again, right from Star Trek. You got Operation Warp Speed, you got Warp Speed, you got Tiberius, you got Kirk, and all that went on with that recently. And, of course, you have another coincidence, right? And if you pull up another thing, the Sentinel, okay, Sentinel on Star Trek was the name of one of their ships, the big ships like that Kirk and thinking of the other guy's name. Look at my mind. Just a bit tired, to be quite honest with you. I've been about 12 days straight now doing live shows every day, and I ain't even halfway there yet. It's getting a little tiring. I see the chat from the website. We are the stars they are trekking for. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, thank you for that chat. And you can do that too if you're watching from the website. You can submit a message and it pops up right on my screen. And you can talk to me prior to the show and ask me questions and give me information, because this came from y'all guys from Beyond the Veil pre-show. So the ship is named, let's see here. It's named the Sentinel, okay? USS Sentinel. And the Sentinel just happens to be the FDA's program they use to track, guess what? You guessed it. The same thing that this other stuff that we're talking about that's tied to Star Trek. Tiberius, the software platform used to manage the logistics of the distribution of it. Then after it was distributed, then the FDA Sentinel program came in, and it, if you remember, give you an idea, the Sentinels were the machines that were trying to kill Neo in the Matrix. Okay. And Neo, if you may or may not know this, but you had two versions of what was of the world in the Matrix, of course. Yeah, when they were in the Matrix and when they were in this other world where it was like you had these spaghetti-armed machines that were coming around and they were attacking the humans, trying to kill them. And they were called Sentinels. Most people don't realize that that realm, when they were in those ships going around through all these tunnels, that was that's inside the human body at a molecular level. Okay. They literally, that's what they were depicting. It was in the body, and they were the Sentinels that were trying to kill the humans. And what do we have the Sentinels doing at the FDA? We have them tracking the flu pals that got in everybody. Isn't that a coincidence? Not a coincidence. There's a book, and there's a copy of this I uploaded on the People's Library on the website. You see, library is the phonetics of the word. A brary means a group of, and lie means a group of lies. Library. See, most of these things are right in front of our faces. We just never cared, never noticed. However, the People's Library I have on the website has this book in there. One of y'all guys sent me this, told me I should read chapter 3, and it looks like I'm going to have to read more than just chapter 3. But it's a rendezvous with Brahma. And I haven't read that much of it yet. It's an Arthur C. Clarke book. Okay. And obviously this guy, if he was even a guy, wrote a bunch of books. And they were all like fantasy, right? Let's see if we can go to chapter 3 here, and if I can find chapter 2, chapter 3, where you at? This is all talking about asteroids and comets and planets and space and all of this. So here's chapter 3. And I'll spare you reading through all of it, but I'm going to try to skip down here and look at a specific thing. Let's make sure nobody's texting me for some reason I actually need to know. Yep, I'm live, Super Dave. I am indeed live. Okay, so think about Comet Atlas and some of the different comets that they're talking about, saying that are out there, okay? Even though nobody can see them, you can look at their images, which looks just like a comet essay. If you don't know what a comet essay is, it's the study of sperm. And if you don't know what a comet really is, it's supernaturally the essence of a being traveling through the waters above. Now let's see here. Trying to see where I want to start reading or not read. Start right up here. The first image is from 10,000 kilometers away, which I think is the same number that they said they were going to be taking photos of Atlas at, about 10,000 kilometers. I think. I could be wrong on that. It says, brought to a halt the activities of all mankind. On a billion television screens, there appeared a tiny featureless cylinder growing rapidly, second by second. By the time it had doubled its size, no one could pretend any longer that Rama was a natural object. Its body was a cylinder so geometrically perfect that it might have been turned into a lathe. One of the centers 50 kilometers apart, the two ends were quite flat, apart from some small structures at the center of one face, and were 20 kilometers across. From a distance, there was no sense of scale. Rama almost looked comically like. Are you sure that the viewing wasn't from 666.6 miles? Another comment from Beyond the Veil on the website. Not quite what you're referring to, unless you're referring to the distance on here. Let's see. Let's read a little bit more. Where was I at? Rama looked almost comically like an ordinary domestic boiler. Rama grew until it filled the screen. Its surface was a dull, drab gray, as colorless as the moon, and completely devoid of markings, except at one point. Halfway along the cylinder, there was a kilometer-wide stain or smear, as if something had once hit or splattered ages ago. There was no sign that the impact had done the slightest damage to Rama's spinning walls, but this mark had produced slight fluctuations in brightness. And anyways, I'm not going to read all of this, but there's a lot in here. When I was reading through it before, there's a lot in here that ties into the language that they're using when they're talking about Atlas right now. Literally, it's pretty. It's like it's part of the. It's like it was part of the script to it. Okay. Says the mass of Rama was at least 10 trillion tons. Yes, NASA. I know that's, I believe, Hebrew for NASA. NASA means to deceive. Let's see, 10 trillion tons. they're saying that Atlas, there's the Avi Loeb dude, Abraham Loeb. He's saying that it's 33 billion tons. So 33 billion tons. This one they're saying is, in this book, is 10 trillion tons. Awe-inspiring, but was also terrifying. No wonder that he sometimes felt a sense of anyways, I'm not going to read this because it's like I'm reading something. If you want to check it out, it's on the website. It's interesting, but it doesn't make for a very good conversation when you're trying to, do a show here. And let's see, what else was it that I wanted to show? Let me see here. Let me grab, see if I've got it here. What did I do with it? I'm looking for a specific file. I'm not seeing right off. This isn't it. That's not it. Just another image showing them playing their games. Oh, and there's Hitler up in this corner too. Up there, somebody put this together. I don't know who did that. Good job. All right. So, guys, again, I just wanted to point out the main thing I'm trying to get done for today is to point out, watch their hands. It's all over YouTube. I see it all the time. Anybody who's got a real successful channel, like anywhere from 500,000 all the way into the millions, they will be doing either that you're seeing right there, or they'll go ahead and interlace their fingers and stick their thumbs straight up. That is the Deep Undercover Agent version of it. There's a guy on YouTube right now that's he's a musician. He sings, makes music videos, and he does the Deep Undercover version because he pretends to be against the system, and he makes music that sounds like he's against the system. But what he's doing is he's weaponizing, and what they're doing is they're weaponizing truth. As a matter of fact, even like with the whole Kirk situation, they're weaponizing because they knew people were going to be paying attention. They know almost everybody's a conspiracy theorist these days. They know this. So what they did was they put in multiple things into the stage act to make sure that people had plenty of things to question. You can go with this theory, or you can go with this theory, or you can go with this theory. Like the shooter couldn't have done it from the roof. It had to be the guy standing beside him. Or no, it was the guy behind him. Or no, it was his lapel that blew up. Or no, ultimately what it is it was a big distraction magic trick, a MAGA trick. It could even be to the point of that what we were watching was an AI production. And that's the goal, they're trying to break our belief, our ability to discern what reality is. That's where they're headed. It's pretty obvious, and it's a wicked strategy. It makes it difficult, very difficult for me and for y'all guys too, of course. But just know that we will continue. We will be digging into these things into the formidable future. And I apologize, I sound a little tired again today. It is because I am. I'm pushing myself to a limit that I am not normally comfortable with. And I ain't really comfortable with it now, but I made the promise to y'all guys that I was going to do 31 days live, and I'm going to. And I do hope that y'all guys will Please support the Superthon that I have going on right now. This thing. We've had some pretty good success, and but we've still got quite a ways to go. We're still below $2,000, and yeah, that takes the pressure off for the month. But in order for us to be able to hit some of the bigger goals inside of getting just financial pressure off for 1 month, I need a new PC to run this show. I have places I'm going to take this show. Everything I've ever done in my life, I've always been the best at it. I was just literally, and I'm not bragging, this isn't ego. It's just that God has given me the ability to do things. And I used to take it and use it to make money. That's not my interest at this point. My interest is to tell the truth, to find the truth, to build an international community of people, letting everybody know what's going on. Okay. We've got, and I'll give you more of an update on the Supernatural show. But we've got people coming together from around the world to join us and having us someone on the ground in each country so that we know what's going on. I got my first report this morning from the Philippines right after the big earthquake. I even have footage of a huge aftershock that hit. The gentleman sent me, and footage of him filming while the earthquake was still happening. And he sent me a number of other things too. Matter of fact, he sent me one thing I'll show here real quick. I think this was it. This is pretty strange, actually. You can't understand what they're saying. Look at this, like cotton-like stuff. This is in the Philippines. This apparently just happened. It's like a river of cotton. I could turn on the audio, but you
nila ang sapa nga napuno og bula, mura nagput.
See, you can't understand nothing. Look at that. Isn't that just, that's not natural. You don't get that coming out the skies. And when the rain runs off, what's left is this. Pretty strange. Pretty strange. And thank you, Philippines. We'll leave it at that, the name for now. Thank you, Philippines. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go. I am tired. It's the weekend, and normally I get time to recoup, but I don't have any. I know I normally go 2 hours or 2.5 hours, but I'm not going to do that today. Maybe tomorrow I might go longer. What I've got planned for tomorrow is more in depth, and hopefully I can get a little bit extra rest, so that way I'll be up to it. But we're going to look at some things more in depth that we've been talking about recently. We're going to go further into our understanding of our reality. Okay. Let me pull up for a second, though. Let's see here. See what y'all guys are saying in the comments. Oh, see Super Dave there. What's happening, my brother? Tom McDonald. That's exactly who I was talking about. Tom McDonald. He is a Deep undercover agent. He's weaponizing truth is what he's doing. What's up, facing the sky? Hey, Mike. Super Mike Smith, what's happening? Yep, the hand gestures, they're telling themselves. There's something about it, they have to admit it. Michael Smith said, forget their hands, listen to their words. No, don't listen to their words, watch what they do. Even the Bible says, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. And I'm not saying you're wrong exactly, Michael. I'm saying, yeah, of course, they're telling us these things. They're telling us they're going to roll these things out. But what we need to be really watching is what they're doing. And of course, I listen to what they say as well. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you better really watch what they do and what they're doing. That's why we're trying to get international correspondence all around the world right now, so that we can know straight up what's going on in the other countries. What's up, Rage Against the Machine? I appreciate you, buddy. Hey, Soul 7's in the house. My co-host Shannon dropping in saying hello. I'm about wore out, Shannon. Yeah, Tom McDonald, agent for sure. No doubt about it. What's up, Warning Signs? Embrace creation, what's happening? Glad y'all guys are here. What's up, Enoch 777? Good to see you back. Bob SS1, Captain Kirk. Yep. It's crazy how they do this stuff, what they're doing. Well, let's see, Shannon's been in here for a while. Yep, the Galactic Federation of Light, which is the false aliens, aka the fallen, basically. Yep. All right. Oh, remote viewers in the house. What's up, my brother? James Tiberius Kirk. Yep, exactly. Shannon says, I bet we are here to support in any capacity we yes, thank you, Shannon. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and try to have a little bit more time off today. I've been literally working. I can't help it. I just start researching and digging and working from the moment I can wake up in the morning until I go to bed. And so I'm not really giving myself much of a break, because it's not a physical task as much as a mental task, a mental challenge. You know, I've got to be on my game right now. All when I'm awake, I get not giving myself any break, and I'm partially doing it to myself. Well, I chose all this. I'm doing this to myself, obviously. But if y'all guys would like to contribute to the Superthon, I would greatly appreciate it. We've got to keep that ball rolling. We really need to raise that $10,000, and I honestly believe we're going to do it. It's just going to take some more of y'all guys that haven't chosen to put anything in the pot to get off the fence and do something, even if it's just $1. You know, you can submit $1 and that gets you on the list, because I have a list and I'm going to be reading that list on a bunch of the shows. So get on the list and help us out. Help me get this new PC so that way I can really take this to the next level. It's already impressive, I know, as to where I've taken this to this point. What do you think I can do if I have a secondary studio PC? Because that would be, I could still use this one. What do you think I could do when I have a really good and fast super PC? We can put up a good fight, but I can't fight alone. I need y'all guys. Need y'all guys to support the work. Also, you can, if you want, you can join the website. That's the same as contributing to the Superthon. Those numbers get included, and you get put on the list as a contributor to Superthon. And after this is all over, you're going to find out why people who chose to contribute at least $1, why it's important to be on the list. There's a couple of things I have planned that I'm not going to speak, but I'm telling you, there's a couple of things I have planned to reward the people who get on the list for contributing to the Superthon. But I'm not going to say what it is until it's done. And when it's done, I'll announce it, but only those on the list get to participate. I love you. Father in heaven loves you. And let me go get some rest. We'll see you next time.